just got to start off with just talking about Matthew and, the toughness that guy shows and, the gritty performance that he was able to have today to, to even get himself right to go out there and play. Thought that was just gutty and gritty by him. Doesn't really surprise me like I talked about, during the week. And then as far as the game goes, offensively, thought there was some good things going on, but cannot turn the ball over. I mean, to turn the ball over on the 1 yard line, and then I think the second one was in the red area as well. Can't do it, and you really take the game out of your hands when you're giving the opponent ball back. And then defensively, I think the game, as we talked about during the week, was going to come down to first and second down more than anything, because the third downs, if you make them, short, it's much easier to convert. We were unable to do that. Couldn't really ever get that under control on first and second down. So made it a long day for the defense on that side of the ball. So any questions?
Justin, go ahead.
Darrell, what is it like being on the sideline when your defense can't get a stop in a game like this? I think they had 7 scoring drives on 9 possessions, and 6 of those were touchdowns. When you can't make adjustments, what does that feel like?
Well, Justin, I'm not sure it has anything to do with adjustments. I mean, the one thing I'll tell you is the guys are playing hard, and we knew the challenge was going to be tough today against that opponent, and the way that offense is able to run, and it was a long day for our guys. I will say that there was obviously the guys are frustrated. They want to do better, but you got to give credit to Tennessee and how well they played on offense.
I know injuries can't be an excuse, but you're running out a cornerback today. I think his first game ever. Shorthanded at seemingly every spot, and some injuries that stacked up in the game. How difficult is this to continue to adjust to the situation, even though injuries are part of it?
Yep, they're part of it for sure. And we're not going to use that as an excuse. I mean, these guys love playing football. All the way down to Alex Myers. I mean, loves to play football, wants to be in there, wants to put a good effort on tape for himself. And, so I can't say anything about the effort or anything that those guys are doing. They're working and trying to, put themselves in best situations to win. The coaches are working, and obviously you got, you're bringing in guys that, you just kind of keep getting further and further down the line. So you got to get guys caught up to speed. So sometimes that limits some of the things that you can do as well. But these guys are continuing to play.
Thank you, Bev.
Justin Rose.
Hey, Darrell, just going back to Stafford real quick. I mean, it just seemed during warmups and then the first part of the game that, he doesn't miss a step. I mean, how impressive is it that, like you kind of talked about, Brett Favre did it for some time, but just to see him know what he needs to be doing out there. I know he missed a couple of throws, but for the most part, I mean, you can't really knock what he did today.
Yeah, Justin, I mean, the amazing thing is I wish you guys could just see him day to day. You don't get to see him, obviously with the COVID and some of the things now as much as you might have before. But just day to day, and in some of the state that he was in earlier in the week, and the performance that he had was, I mean, it's remarkable, and just gritty, tough. I mean, the way that he leads his teammates, and I mean, his guys want to go out there and fight for a guy like that, and he's laying it all on the line. He's giving everything he has, and I just applaud him for it.
Just to follow that, the offensive line looked like they made a point to not let him get hassled and hit too much early on in this game. Yeah,
they really cared, and I think it shows, what they think of Matthew and the fight and the things that they're willing to do for him. We tried to do some things offensively to help with that as well. And, I was trying, to get a quarterback out of a game without getting hit, was going to be a tall task, but those guys went out and they really fought and worked for him.
Mike Rothstein.
Hey, Bev, at what point did you decide that Matthew was going to actually play?
Well, basically, like I told you, it was going to come all the way down to the end of the week, and guys can look at the Friday deal. I told you he's not going to practice. Next thing you know, he goes out there and flings a couple balls, and then he's like, hey, I want to take this rep. And I mean, he's just a competitor. So I think, getting a rep or two was able to show him like, okay, maybe I can do this. And really it went all the way down to this morning. And, he just woke up and was like, yep, I'm going.
And he comes out late. Was there a re-aggravation at all, or was that just protecting him at this point because he is playing hurt?
Yeah, I really felt like, he had given us all he could give, and where the game was at that point, I just didn't want to put him in any more situations where he could re-injure the thing. He gave us all he had at that moment, and I thought Chase came in and did a good job there. Let us right down on that drive. I was just making a good decision for Matthew.
And just the last thing I've got is a couple weeks ago when you got this, the interim gig, you said you felt like this was a 5-game audition for yourself. You're now you're now more than halfway through that 5-game audition. Where do you kind of stack up the job you've been able to do so far?
Well, I don't think that's for me to say, really, Mike. I think that's going to be for others to say, and for Sheila and Steve and Rod, and the group that's looking at that. I'm just doing the best I can to prepare these guys each and every week, and let the play on the field speak for it.
Cool. Appreciate it, Bev. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, 2 more. Dave, go ahead.
Hey, Darrell, just back to the defense for a sec. You said it doesn't have anything to do with adjustments. So is it talent? Is it depth? What is it? Because a lot of people just sort of see the defense right now and think it's hopeless, that there's no way to stop an offense like this.
Yeah, I mean, it was, Dave, it was a struggle, and I'm not going to make any excuses, one way or the other. I mean, the guys that we have are the guys that we have, and those guys are out there giving us everything they got. They're fighting hard. The coaches are trying to put them in the best situations that they can to be successful. And today we weren't able to do it. I mean, we knew it was going to be a huge challenge. I mean, great running back that they have, hard to stop. I mean, physical, but he also got speed. So we knew that was going to be a challenge, and it turned out that way.
And what do you tell Swift about leaping at the goal line? I don't know if that's a play you just want him to stay on the ground there for. What's the coaching points, I guess?
He's giving the best effort he can to score, and but he needs to finish with the ball. I mean, he's going to tell you that. I'm going to say that, and however it turns out, he's got to come down with the ball. But it's hard in those moments to tell guys what to do and what not to do. Their instincts are taking over for them. There is certain things that we coach, but the guy's trying to make a play.
Last thing for me, and I'm sure we'll talk to him here in a sec, but just from your point of view, how much pain is Stafford in now? He took those 2 shots before he came out, and it definitely looked like he was grimacing a little bit. So how's he feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'll let him speak to that, so he can answer for himself. But like I said, I think it was a valiant effort by him, really to even get out there. It was amazing watching him during the week, and I just want to say that about him, just how tough and gritty he is.
All right, thank you.
Last one for Kyle.
Hey, Bev, I was curious about the fake punt. I'm curious about the logic that went into faking the punt as opposed to just going for it on 4th and 4. And then did you consider challenging the spot after the play?
Yeah, we did. We did consider the challenge. Obviously, we're up in the booth are really my eyes, and the guys upstairs. I think we have a good line of communication and do a good job with that. And so the views that we had really were inconclusive, or basically said there was, I say it this way, there was 3 shots that we ended up having. 2 of the shots clearly looked short, and the other one looked close. And normally those the line to gain plays are hard challenges to win. And from the views that we had, it didn't look like we were going to win it. And so we decided it was more important to keep the timeout at that moment. As far as the decision, the punt, we like some of the fakes that we have. We feel like our PP is a guy that's got some good speed, have an opportunity to get the edge blocked and get him on the edge. So we ended up going with that. We could have definitely left the offense out there as well. But with the clock and, where the time was, it, seemed like a good opportunity for that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you.